My name's Arlene, and we attended the academy with the intent of being able to get the long stay visa in France, and we were able to do that. We were able to get all of our documentation organized and get our application through on the first try, which sometimes doesn't always happen. And we have also been successful in getting ourselves over here, getting our stuff over here, getting us set up and now even validating our visa since we got here. I would say, as I mentioned, we had friends that kind of got here before us and put the seed in my brain. But I would say without the academy, we probably could not have envisioned the whole picture of what our life might be and how much better it could be. Like, I think that gave us just the whole picture of you can do this, and this is what it can look like, and here's evidence of what it can look like, and here's my life and what it looks like. And so I think without the academy, that picture would have been harder to get into focus, I guess is the best way to say it. We wanted, to do something different, some adventure. We don't have any children. We don't have any, unfortunately, our parents are all gone, so we didn't have responsibilities like some other people have. So we were quite fortunate.
Right.
And we felt like at some point we just deserved it, that we had worked hard all our lives and that this is something we wanted to try. And, we're not getting any younger. Things don't get easier. You don't get less afraid as you get older, unfortunately, most people. So we really wanted to do that. Like I said, I heard Shauna on the podcast, and I like the idea that you provided at the time, not at the time, you do, like a one-stop shop, right? Like it was like a course, which appealed to me. As Americans, we like to have everything kind of laid out for us. So I really liked that. And I liked that you had all sorts of modules and that it was constantly updating. So even from a month from when I started, you had added new content, which I think that's a failing of a lot of places. They don't keep their content updated. And the live chat, I like that. That was quite helpful to me. You and I discussed a few things that, were important to me, and you kind of gave me some guidance on how to go and find those. At the beginning, we did kind of the visioning about why we deserve this and what we wanted out of it. And, we're a little older, so we probably had less of that. Like I know if you're like 20, you're like, oh my God, how can I possibly do this? So I just felt like it was very thorough and we got all the alternatives. So I felt like the Academy was a great jumping off point for us. And it also gave us all these links, like a lot of the links and resources that you provided. Like, yes, I got my 45 € consultation with, this person that does legal. And so we took advantage of all the knowledge, even if we're only using 50% of it, because some of it doesn't apply to us tax-wise or all these things. So I just felt like it was a great central point of reference. And, you're just very enthusiastic, and that's fun too, right? You want someone who's like, you can do this, and I'm excited, and Europe's awesome. So, I mean, I think all of those things are really important. It's just an appreciation for, and this is going to sound bad, but I don't mean it to, an appreciation for the bureaucracy of France or Spain or wherever. And that you have to respect that you have to respect that there's a process you have to go through. And it doesn't matter as the United States person what I think of this process. I need to have the papers in order. And whether I think it's silly to have 3 copies or, write a note saying I'm not going to work, or any of these other things, there's a reason for all of that. So I appreciate that. And there's a part of me, I was a good student. I like being told what to do. I like instructions that tell me how to assemble things and put them together. So I think that was quite helpful. And so I think that's the part I appreciated. And then the other thing that I kind of said already, which is the resources, I liked that you had varying resources that I could, talk to or consult with or listen to a webinar. But yeah, I think it was just, I think you put a great amount of time into helping people be organized, and I appreciated that. That was, when I heard you speak about it, I just think it was kind of what I said, which is I just felt like it was comprehensive and and it was orderly the way you had like your modules laid out. So we would, we would watch them and do so, like some of them you had the worksheets, so we would do the worksheets or whatever.
Yeah.
And we could skip things like, okay, we're not moving to the Netherlands, so we can just go right by that one,
Right.
and we're not moving a household of goods. We just our suitcases and Olive, our lab. And we'll move goods later. But so I like that you could pick and choose what was important to you at any given time, and that you had this a long period of access, and a nice community of people. I mean, I won't lie, I didn't take advantage of a lot of the stuff, of the community stuff, but I would go on there, I would see that you were on, and I would see what people were writing, and I would try and drop in if something happened that I was like, oh, this might be useful. So I think that's really nice, and I feel like younger people are more connected that way, so I'm sure that's very appealing. Especially if you're by yourself or you're not very confident, you to have a whole community of people that are like, you can do this, and here's how I did it, and here's something bad I learned or whatever, I think it's quite
Yeah.
helpful. I would say that it's a bargain. Anybody who's ever had any schooling in their life knows it's a bargain, and I don't mean that in a cheap way. I just mean it's a good value. So not a bargain. It's a good value for what you get, for the amount of content, for the support from you. So I would say that you're going to move to wherever, and it's going to cost you some money, even if you go the cheapest way you can, not to be afraid. But this is an investment. It's like, I don't know. It's like hiring someone to teach you how to drive, or to teach you, or to manage your finances, or do all of the other things. Sometimes you have to make an investment in an expert, because that will make your life exponentially easier down the road. It may seem like a chunk of change right now, but when you think about the value that it will provide, to use an accounting term, if you amortize it over the life of what you're going to get from it, you really have to make the investment in yourself, because you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle to put the pieces together unnecessarily.